I want to mention a few things before we get started here
Okay.
that I've just observed. So,
Just like a table
I know.
in the only natural place to put your...
Do you want to try and shift it?
I don't.
We can kind of pivot
No.
it, swing it.
What way?
Like-
No, because like literally like the leg of the table stands everywhere. It'll be fine.
Will it?
I'm sure for 4 hours it'll be fine. It'll not bother me. It'll be grand. You want to mention a few things up top, Matt? Get it off your chest.
So I think, one, you've come very professional.
Have I?
Professionally dressed. I think you're wearing a shirt.
Oh, I'm just there.
Now that alone doesn't bear remarking upon, but you've also come with notes.
Which you got to hilariously hear dictated out in real time.
One more thing.
Okay.
Just before we started, he said, "Can you just try and refrain from leaning back and say, we're not here to relax." What's it, the new tude?
The new tude?
Yeah, attitude?
It's just
You trying to make a dick of me?
it's just a result of having to edit it and noticing things that like can't use shots because we're not both in it. I've done it too, but I don't have to tell myself not to lean back because I've already remembered to not lean back. Look at me.
I think
all
we need
leaning
to.
forward
I
and
think
shit.
we need to fix the shots to allow for a lean back.
Well, that's probably true too.
We're here to hang,
We are.
you know,
We could just hang forward though.
hang forward.
See, unusable shot, Nick.
Look, it's my natural inclination to throw my head back in joyous laughter. What can I say? And if I go off mic and out of screen doing it,
What do you think of the Skycam idea?
I think that's a good idea.
So if we throw our heads back laughing, we'd be like,
Yeah, I like that. That should cost nothing to get
I'm
rigged up.
sure it'll be
How much is it to hire a drone to?
just hover above our head. Probably better than trying to get it to fly over lava.
Mm-hmm.
That reply you sent back to me, was that one that you robbed from Reddit, or is there a drone pilot in your job?
Should probably explain what we're talking about.
No.
Yeah, I work with a guy who operates. He has his own business as a operating
Oh, is that
drone
right?
pilots as well. So I asked him to verify was it real.
He
We're
gave
talking
you
about a video of a
gave you a
drone
quote.
flying over an active volcano. We're nerds. I'm sorry.
it was the common thread under it. Like so if you sorted by top comments, and then there's just the passive aggression about 8 comments deep of just like, well, I think you'll find.
Yeah, you're wrong. This is fake.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
you're wrong.
it was so good. I fucking
Very
love
petty.
I love when I find shit like that on the fucking internet. It's great. But yeah, and I was like, oh my god, oh he's wrong. Oh shit, he sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's wrong. Oh shit, no, apparently he's wrong about being wrong. Oh my god. And then eventually someone was just like, no, you're wrong. And then just like, I just wanted to, and I was like, damn it, the thread's over. Yeah, I think it'd be even funnier if we just got like I mean, you know, how tall is the ceiling here? Like 20 foot? 15, 20 feet? Probably tall? I don't know. I don't
You're
know.
asking the
I don't know
wrong
why I'm
guy.
asking
Have
you.
no depth perception.
It's good to see. We should just get like a very long and flimsy single chain to hang the phone from.
Just
and,
a webcam.
I know, and if we just want to make people dizzy whenever we start throwing our heads back and laughing, and it'll just be kind of in the breeze, you know, slightly just.
Terrifying.
It'll be terrible.
We could just and then pass it off as abstract art. So
Yeah.
we'll sweep up at the potties.
We did at the very least get an arts council grant. If we can say that there's some Protestant chains involved, they'd be all over that shit. How are you? We haven't done this in. I don't think we've properly spoken in like.
Couple of weeks.
It's been a while. Like
Once again, serves us
watch
right.
Watch us now.
Serves us right for being so smug for getting 3 done one night.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
5 weeks later, the maths doesn't add up.
This is true. We did miss a few weeks there. Sorry. I feel like it's just becoming like a running part of the show that we go, oh, sorry about this, and we're trying our best, but there's going to be loads of new improvements. We'll probably inevitably talk about how we've moved the space and how it's set
We've
up in
moved
such
into
a
the
way.
corner.
We're going to talk about how it's set up in such a way that it'll be just ergonomic from here
that's
on
it.
out.
It's all plain sailing from here.
There'll
Baby.
never be an episode we miss ever again. And no, fair play to us. It's been 3 years.
We'll be here on Christmas Day.
We've rarely missed a week over the 3 years. You know, fair play to us. It's hard to keep going. And you'll say something about like fair play to us as well, and you'll agree, and then we'll make a commitment to be better, and then we won't.
Damn it, I'm leaning out of shot. But it is hard, Nathan.
It is hard. It's really hard when your eye tries to escape your
yes,
head.
Let's talk about that.
That was why we missed the first of the weeks.
And I sent a panic amongst the community while also unsuccessfully promoting my friend's work at the same time. It was what can only be described as an absolute disaster of an announcement.
I had to ring you and be like, so if we start at the start. So so I was down home, which I'll get back to later, but I was down home and I was in the middle of like cooking or something, and I like turned my head and it felt like I'd pulled a muscle in my eyeball, and I was like, oh, that was a weird sensation. I got like a tugging behind my eye, and I was just like, oh, that's gross. And then just as the next few days went on, it kept happening. I was like, and then when I was driving up the road home as well, it was like, it just felt like someone's finger was just like slightly on my eyeball, but it wasn't like weepy or anything gross. Like, it was just red, and I was just like, and I've had like a sty before, but it wasn't that either. It was I couldn't see why anyway, but so I thought it would like just go away on its own. And then I woke up, I think it was like the Saturday of that week, I woke up that morning and just like my eye was completely red, and I was just like, oh shit, that looks fucking bad. In fact, I didn't even realize, I was on the way back from a gig, and I called in to see a friend briefly, and he was like,
did he recoil in horror?
He was like, he didn't mention it for ages, and then I was swinging into Domino's on the way back, because
was he like, are you crying, or is your eye just
is your left eye really upset to see me right now? but yeah, I called back into, I was just swinging into Domino's on the way back to get a drink, because everywhere was closed.
I thought you swore never to set foot in that bloody place again.
Yeah, I still like the people in there though, like, you know what I mean, say hello and all.
I don't know, you mightn't have swore.
I probably did, to be fair. But yeah, and so I was chatting to my mate Jamie, who's the manager, and then the other guy. So Jamie had been talking to me for about 10 minutes and didn't mention it, and then another guy that works there, Lewis, came out and just straight, what's up with your eye?
You need to leave. This is a health and safety issue.
He was like, what the fuck's wrong with your eye? I was just like, oh yeah, it's a bit sore. I was like, oh, does it look sore? He's like, it's completely red.
You're wilting the dough.
Yeah. And of course somebody was like, did you wipe shit in your eye? You know, all the usual fucking pink eye jokes. Anyway, and then it just like, it was red, but it wasn't like really sore, and then I felt like it was getting better. It didn't really feel like too like scratchy or itchy or any of the Simpsons cartoon characters. And then I woke up the Wednesday, I think it was, and it just like I'd went to bed quite late, but I woke up maybe like 2 hours after I went to bed, and my eye was just like in the worst pain I've ever been, and I had to like stand under a shower for like a half an hour just to like relax the muscles in my neck, because I woke up just like like that, just like my shoulder up there. And it was really, I couldn't see out of it. I mean, I couldn't open it. The eye was still working, but anyway. So long story short, I had to go to A&E. I was there for a while.
3 hours.
I was there for a long day. My mate Carl picked me up and brought me to the hospital, and then dropped me off. I went in. People in A&E are just like, oh, I broke my arm. Get over yourself. No, but like I sat and I brought headphones with me, because I was like, you know, I might be here for a while. But then I couldn't. And then I couldn't hear, like, whenever they were, because I was like around the corner from like where they opened the door and shout your name to see if you want to come in or whatever, and so I couldn't actually hear, and I was just like, right, well, I'm gonna have to leave these out. And then like, so opposite me was like a tracksuit couple, you know those ones that just everything's fucking shit, and like there's no sense of like
we're all injured here.
People here might be in pain
Yeah.
and don't need to hear me eat this full share bag of hula hoops with my mouth wide open. Some people have suffered enough. Apparently not enough for these folks. Having full row, just like, you know the way like couples might bicker, especially in a stress situation. I'm sure they're in A&E for a reason themselves, but they were just like properly like
Being stitched into this bloody tracksuit.
This is the last time I go to JD Sports.
They always do
They
this to me.
always sew me in to the jacket.
That's how they get you to buy them.
Just do it. Fuck off, Nike. I won't do it.
They get you. An attractive woman comes out and talks to you, and while you're distracted talking to her, but you're stitching around you. That'll be 64 quid, please. How did you get those trainers on me?
You have it sewn into you, you buy it. It's like that old famous trade saying. Yeah, anyway, and then I feel like there's like it made me think like of all the times I've been in A&E, there's like a consistency with some of the characters. So there was them, there was the tracksuit couple, which is probably a derogatory term. I don't know. Sorry about people who wear tracksuits. And that's exactly how I meant it. I'm sorry about people who wear tracksuits.
Just like, I'm just gonna let that hang. Just gonna let him.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna see where he goes with this.
I'm sorry about them. But then there's the I don't know what we'll call this guy. This guy is the I'm in the middle of a job but decided to come down and find out about my broken leg on my break from plastering somewhere. So he came in like full work calls the whole time. And just like having chats with whoever he was on the phone with, like very on speakerphone, of course, as is the classic Belfast middle-aged man mode of communication. You know, just like this one. And it sounded like some very like sensitive natured things were being talked about. There was a couple of like I told him to get the fuck away, and if he ever came back, I'd fucking kill him. Sort of chats.
This is the guy with the broken leg.
Yeah,
Fucking hell.
Yeah. He didn't have a
broken backstory.
I don't know what I don't actually know what was wrong with him. He didn't have a broken leg, but he was obviously in A&E for some fucking reason. Like, but anyway, and just like every time the door opened, she'd be like fucking Marie, whatever, and he'd be like, "What was that?" And they'd be like, no mate, it's not me this time. Some cunt named Marie. You know what I mean? And just you're like. Just staring and then like nowhere feels safe to fucking look in. Just like
I go completely invisible in those situations. I just try and fucking find a corner and melt into like
more or less. I mean, I do enjoy people watching, and it's a good spot for it. But you know, when you can't see, shit crack. Also, I noticed no matter how much pain someone seemed to be in whenever they walked into A&E, when they went up to the window to tell the person what was wrong with them. I don't know if it's like an Irish thing, but everybody was just like, they're like, "What's the problem?" It's like, "My knee, it's okay. Like, I'm probably grand." You know?
Blood just pouring out of my ears. You know,
yeah.
I just need
Put me to the back of the queue.
Yeah.
It's probably not a big deal.
What?
Anyway, so they sent me to. There's like a special part of the Royal called Eye Casualty. Sent me there, did a couple of tests. Now the frustrating thing about this is that I was in a very well-known. Well-marketed opticians a couple of days before after getting an emergency eye test, and they did a bunch of tests, and the optician like did essentially all the same tests with what I would say was probably better equipment than they had available.
Was
to
this
them.
when you had the infection?
So before it was like super sore and I had to go to A&E like 3 days prior. I was like, when it got really red the next day, I was like, or whatever next day they were open, I was like, oh well, I better see if I can get like an emergency appointment and just make sure there's like nothing I could be doing about this or whatever, you know. So he was just like, he did a bunch of tests. He was very helpful and kind and nice and understanding and all, and was like, oh, I hope it gets better and all, but like he completely missed it. And then they did the same stuff in up in the Royal, and I have a thing called what's it called, anterior uveitis or whatever the fuck that means, which basically is just fancy
anterior uveitis,
UV fucking paramilitary uveitis, preliminary the real uveitis. But yeah, it does sound like a paramilitary group, doesn't it? The anterior uveitis.
They got Nathan. They got him. The anterior uveitis got him.
And who knew? They answered the whole time.
Eyecappin.
They answered the whole time to get rid of these paramilitaries. Just a couple of drops, a couple of times a day. Imagine if that was how you dealt with fucking paramilitaries. Just. Yeah. So then I was given a very rigorous schedule of So there's like a steroid drop that I have to put in every hour, every day for 6 weeks.
And as a result,
So that's cool.
you were unable.
I was unable to do the bug. Well, I started, so I did an edit that I ended up having to send you to basically kind of proof watch, which is the one that did come out after that or whatever, but it was late that week. But I was lucky that it was from the same episode that the previous two had been from, because I had like presets saved for the color and the cropping and all that sort of stuff, but I couldn't really see. I was just doing it by like, oh, Mick's talking. Oh, I'm talking. You know,
Purple kind of
it's just like
blurs yapping on now.
Exactly, yeah. Because there was another drop that day gave me that like, which I only had to take for like 3 days, but it was like it dilated my pupils, so basically stopped it like reacting to light, and it stopped me being able to focus on stuff. So like one eye was just like a saucer. And so I just couldn't really see. Like I was just like,
which brings us to the barrage of phone calls that you get on text, wondering where were you?
So
okay?
my brother, fucking loads of folks. I like, as far as I was concerned, I was just like, I basically said to Mick, I was like, can you just let people know that it's gonna be late? Let them know.
Why did I?
I was like, can you just let them know that it's gonna be late or whatever for the week? But it's all good. Like I just need my eye to calm down. Essentially, was what I said to him. And then how did you put? I don't even remember, because you deleted it before I had the ability to see.
I was in the middle of doing something, and I was half thinking about doing something, and I was like, right, I put up a post now, and I was like, oh, here, like, Nathan, we're not going to be able to release this because Nathan spent 7 hours in A&E.
With no fucking context.
And then I said, don't worry, he's fine.
Thinking he'd covered all bases.
And then I went on to promote my mate's music video. Poor Dan. Oh man, I done him so dirty by accident, by just carelessness. Oh god, you have to check out that video. It's called Hate Songs by Dan Leith, Utter Debauchery. It's a fucking great bit of fucking work, and it deserved better, and you deserve better, but then Nathan got a load of fucking...
I got loads of messages from people, and so I couldn't read any of them. My phone kept just going like bing, bing. And by the way, thank you. That's really kind. That's really kind. Like, I mean, honestly, there was, but because, well, I didn't know what Mick had said. I couldn't actually read it. But also, it was only because my brother or my mum rang and were like, "Are you all right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was laughing. I think it was my mum. I was like, "Did Mick put up something vague about me being in A&E and didn't explain that I'm totally grand by any chance?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, cool, I better ring Mick then. Because like, I was getting all these messages from people and I was trying to read them, and I like, when you can't focus, when your eyeball won't do what eyeballs do and it just is staying wide open, I was just like, I can't read this. And then and I felt bad because it looked like I was reading them and just ignoring them, and they were obviously nice messages, and so I was just like, right, well fuck, I better. So I fucking ring Mick and I'm just like, I don't know what you've said, but can you put a caveat in that I'm totally grand? I just can't see right now.
My first...
I had a very specifically detrimental to editing problem.
Yeah.
That was the extent of it.
So my first attempt at damage limitation was to put an edit the post and just just to clarify. Honestly, he's grand. Like, and sorry, Dan. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get fucking rid of this. I'm gonna fucking nuke it.
Because when I could finally see, eventually, I was like, I went to look for it. Then I couldn't find it, and I was like, "Where is that?" You're like, I just deleted it. That's all you wrote, but I just deleted it.
Here, that's just gone to screensaver. That'll be grand, will it?
Let's check. I'm sure it does that.
So I just nuked it. Decided that I'd really fucked it, and there was no clawing back from it. I'd made a huge error of judgment.
It was so funny. It was so funny. But yeah. And then you went to Portugal.
I did.
And forgot to check the schedule for the vault or something. What was it? Something like that? Or you thought you booked it or something? Anyway, it was just a fucking another just wee error. It couldn't have been. I was laughing because the night before I was playing in Gordon Street and I ran into Pete from Hand Models.
Yeah, that's it.
And he was like, I was like, any crack, man? And we were chatting away, and he had 2 friends with him that looked like they were in like a hostage situation, like they couldn't leave, but clearly we're just like, come on now, Pete, we're out for a pint.
Yeah.
So sorry to you guys, but it was really funny. but yeah, and then he was asking if I was doing any recording. I was like telling him what I was at, and then I was like, what about you guys? And he was like, yeah, we're actually up in the vault on Monday, rehearsing with Ryan for some recording that we're doing. And I was like, oh, are you? What time? And he was like, about 3. I was like, huh, that's probably going to interfere with our podcast recording. And then said nothing, to be fair, which was probably, I was just like, I was like, he must have it wrong. And then I said to Mick, and he was like, no, I have and then like 2 minutes, no, right enough, yeah. And then he was away to Portugal the next day. I was like, fuck it is what it is.
Yeah, I felt shame. I felt stupid that I was flying off to Portugal after that movie. I was like, fuck it, see ya.
How was Portugal?
It was lethal. It was very last minute,
yeah,
which is a very privileged thing to say, I know, but the flights were so fucking cheap, and it was just...
Did you have to do all your locator forms and your antigen tests?
That was stressful. Fuck me, it was stressful. And getting I was only agreed to go last minute because the flights were so cheap and accommodation was all fucking paid for. Somebody pulled out, I think. So I was like, fuck it, I'll...
Catholic?
I said, fuck it, I'll join them. It was just like three of my mates from Oma. But I didn't realise I had to get fucking the Randox test before I leave and after I leave, and one out there and everything. And it was just
you have to get them while you're, even if you've been vaccinated as well.
Aye.
Right. Well.
But I mean, again, I fucking...
What's the bloody point then?
That's what happens when you don't, when you just do something on a whim. Sometimes it backfires. And
that's pure you. And I'm envious that you have that attitude.
But you know what? It was because I was only out there for 4 days and did very, very, very little. It was fucking class. I just there was just a lot of sitting about, not even much drinking or nothing, like just chilling. Yeah,
it's okay. You can tell us if you had a good time.
No, actually, so it just wasn't like it was a great. I had a really great time. I went surfing.
Oh, class!
I had a surfing lesson for like one morning. We got up and drove like half hour to this like really remote beach where they were doing surfing lessons. And it was like it was high tide and it beautiful weather, and I fucking loved surfing. Like it was lethal.
Seems like exactly the kind of thing you'd enjoy now.
When I was there was a group of us there, like there were, and the guy was giving out sun cream. It was factor 50 and it was like fucking emulsion paint. That's what my mate says. He goes, that's how thick it was, and I was putting it on, and Mickey, the guy who was with, kind of goes, he started laughing. And I was like, what are you laughing at? He goes, you really look like Marv from Home Alone right now, you know, like Marv has the paint on. And one of the guys fucking beside him starts cracking his hole laughing. I'm looking at him and he's just pissing himself. I'd never seen this guy before now, and he's just absolutely buckled over laughing at the idea of me looking like Marv.
That is what you look like.
So I had to just give him what he wanted. I was like, Harry!
Oh man, there's nothing better than that real effective but more old school type of sunblock that just absolutely
First place to go.
Yeah, back at a skull boy.
Yeah,
that's a place a lot of people forget to do. Like.
Have you ever surfed?
Never, no.
Man, it's incredible. It was so fucking class. I even managed like 2, 1.5 maybe standing.
Oh, fair play.
Yeah,
I went. And
they were decent. Like there was, I was a fucking slog even trying to get out of the waves because they were just so strong and consistent. Like
yeah. Is it it's paddleboarding is the one on like calmer water that you stand on, right?
I think so.
I've done that, but I didn't even stand up on them. I was like, I'm having a perfectly good time sitting here.
I could see myself taking to surfing now.
I have an irrational fear about surfing, and it's not the obvious one like sharks or just.
Is it going to be getting hit on the head by the surfboard?
Yeah, it's like it's tied to your ankle, and I'm always just like, right, well, whenever you get fucking washed over whatever by a wave, does it not just fly down on top of your head and knock you out?
I did get a fucking...
They feel like heavy.
Mine took a fucking swing at me. So been riding it all day and he just fought back.
Yeah, he was like, enough!
Hey, fuck you! But no,
it's like bullfighting.
The life of
This
a
cunt can't even swim.
the life of a fucking Portuguese surf coach looks like the life for me. I'll tell you that.
Scuba? Was it that guy?
They're so ripped in like a very like obviously not a gym way, just from like years of surfing.
Yeah, a very specific to the thing they do every day.
Yeah.
Way. Yeah. Like an old swimmer's body. Not a pick on him.
But it was class, man. I would love to fucking do more surfing.
I've
for
never been to
sure.
Portugal or Spain, which I feel like is a wild thing. Like everyone I know has been to at least Spain. It seemed like Spain was like the coming back from your school holidays and like first day of school, where'd you all go for your holidays? And everybody was like Spain. Spain.
Are you trying to bait me? Because I'm not allowed to even talk about Spain anymore.
You were in Spain. No, but genuinely, like, and I've never been. I was actually only talking about this the other day. I was like, I don't know. It just always sounded like anytime anybody went to Spain, like at least when you went to Spain, you know, you went and actually, like, you know, you didn't just go to like fucking
An Irish bar.
yeah, you know what I mean. Like, but any other time, like any of my mates went to Spain or any of their families went to Spain, like, you know those boys who came back with girlfriends.
Resort holidays, sort of.
Yeah, one of those ones, and they're like, "Oh, where's she from? Roscommon. You were in Spain." Is there no fucking Spanish people about? You know what I mean? It's just like my last. It's just like the least attract. But I know that's not all that Spain is like. But like even like Margaret's dad makes me laugh sometimes. He's on about like fucking. He was talking once about a trip he went on to Spain, and was saying that his favorite place. Was I can't remember where he said it was, but I was like, why? And he was like, oh, the fry was class. I was like, what? Speaking of Margaret's dad and Spain, oh boy, I was laughing when you were saying that you had a bit of a nightmare with your locator forms. What's this?
I was just going to tell you a wee story
Please
about
do,
Philly
because this
on
will be
holiday.
long. This will be long and stressful.
So it was a very, very laid back holiday. Like I mean that it was just lots of chilling by the pool, chilling in the villa, or at the beach or whatever. And I just wasn't really in the form for having a drink. But it came to about Thursday night, and you could tell Philly was he was kind of itching for a wee night on the town. I think
Same flavour, same great taste, no alcohol.
Yeah.
Send your check.
I would have rather you brought the alcoholic ones. I just left the car here.
I was thinking that you probably would prefer that. Do you want me to open your one too?
It feels like such a fucking feckless endeavour.
I find the trick with these is that they need to be freezing and you need to neck it.
Yeah, but it's still, no matter how tasty it is, it's still like...
Kind of a man can't open a bottle with a lighter, like.
What kind of man? Yeah.
He's got me there. Sorry, you were saying Philly.
But I came to about Thursday night and... Cheers.
Is it bad luck to cheers with no alcohol? Let's find out.
Philly was obviously itching the kind of just for a wee night on the town, and I wasn't really feeling it. Neither is Peter.
Oh, there's
Mike.
nothing worse than when you want to.
I actually like fucking cooking when I'm on holiday. I like buying stuff in and cooking big meals and sitting out and stuff. I don't know, but I just wasn't. And they were
just adding the local spices to your vegetable medley. Smoked paprika.
So
what's the Spanish for garlic?
So Philly, like Mick McGinn, who was one of the lads out there, he's wild for just planting the seed and watering it subtly, nudging it, and he just put the seed in Philly's head earlier on in the week. So you should say to Roman. Now Roman was our Airbnb host,
right?
So Philly was like, and he's I think he's like probably around our age. He just lives out there. He's an English guy from south of England somewhere. Seemed like, you got the vibe from him. It was very chill. He was like, you got the vibe from him. He would probably enjoy the drink. So Philly texted him.
Was he, sorry?
He was the host, the Airbnb.
Was he present in the Airbnb with you? Or
no,
was it
he
just
came
like,
the odd time just to like change gas or something or do something down the pool. So Philly gets chatting to him, and obviously he has his number for the Airbnb.
For emergencies.
Philly just messages and goes, fancy going out for a few pints.
Did he really?
So the two of them went out in the town for
That's
pints.
such a Philly
He
thing.
went out in the town for
That's
pints with
great.
his Airbnb host.
I'm sure they had a whale of a time.
He didn't get back to fucking 5:30 in the morning.
Amazing.
Some man, hey.
Class.
Yeah.
That boy gets to go back now and have loads of stories about the Gallaghers or something. You'll not believe the stuff this guy told me. Margaret's dad asked me a couple of weeks ago to help him to book a cruise.
Mm-hmm.
So her dad, his 3 brothers, and their mother were going on a cruise. So they'd fly to Barcelona, hotel there for a night, jump on the cruise, 1 stop in Spain, mostly Italy, and then back to Spain, 2 more nights, back to Dublin, right? Now, none of them, well, sorry, like, yeah, it's a, I might cut this out. So, 3 of them or 2 of them didn't have email addresses, so that was helpful. One of them didn't have a phone number, or a bank account, which was tough for a lot of the stuff. But so I don't know if like it was just because of all the extra shit for COVID or whatever that I had to like do for them. But fuck me, travel agents really earn their money, man. Jesus Christ, like I thought, do you know the way like normally, like so the thing that you just went and did in Portugal, like you can like that's my idea of like how simple it should be to book a holiday is like just book the flight, book an Airbnb and go. Like Jesus fucking Christ, man, there was like 5 locator forms for every country they were going to, and then like fucking hotel and fucking all this sort of stuff, and then like but just dealing with people that are completely technologically illiterate the entire time, and like I'd like set them all up fucking email addresses and just have so many conversations with chatbots on their behalf, which was it took me about 3 days, man. It was unbelievable. I was just like, who the fuck is going on a holiday right now? Like that? Like with that much? Like if it's just a matter of like jumping on the plane and doing something that you like you guys did, I can understand that. But like I would have got to like the first set of forms for this cruise if I was going on it myself and been like, I'll wait. I'll definitely just wait.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And then I was laughing. They offered me like ages ago before they even like found the price or whatever. They were saying to me and Margaret, like, you should come. And I was like, no. Yeah. Absolutely not. No way.
I still can't, I felt bad even going, to be honest. Yes, like, I probably shouldn't even be going on holiday. It's still like.
I don't think, when I say, like, who's going on holiday now, I don't even.
But no, as I did.
I just mean, like, the stress of going right now would just be enough for me to just, like, not bother. You know what I mean? And I don't even mean the stress of, like, worrying about catching or spreading or any of that shit. I just mean like I'm sure the already stressful experience of traveling to another country is worse now.
Well, it was very stressful also because the night before, I don't know if you can see it anymore, but I gave myself some fairly hefty burns on my thumbs.
Did you
and
try
fingers.
To grab the sun?
I absentmindedly grabbed
like
a
this?
bacon or like a deep dish bacon tray like that and lifted it.
I've done that so
the night before I had to fly. I just was like stood there for a second, screamed, fucking dropped it, and just under the tap wailing, actually going, the dog going fucking mental. I had to drive in to get Orla like this.
Just loads of individual bandages around your fingers.
It did feel like fucking Marv, actually. It's a pure Marv thing to happen. Like,
did you step on any Christmas ornaments on your way out the door?
And like, so I was in the middle of cooking dinner, so I wanted to clean the house. So Orla started with
the Home Alone references.
It was like actually it was like the inverse of Home Alone. It was like I was in the house,
but you were fucking.
I was in the house lawfully trying to get it ready for somebody rather than unlawfully trying to take it away. So I was in the house and I was cleaning from top to bottom. I wanted to give the house.
You Home Alone yourself. I remember hating this doorknob.
I kind of did. I knew I was going away last minute, and Orla started back at uni. So I just wanted to get everything nice for him. I'm having sympathy eye issues here. I started rubbing my eye, and now I really want to itch it. But anyway,
don't do it.
So I was cleaning and I was cooking, and I was like, right, I'll go in and I'll time the roast right, so I can go in and cook her and get the roast, and I'll go in and grab her after uni or whatever. So I was doing all this cleaning, and I took the deep dish bacon tray out of the oven and left it for about 20 minutes while I was doing some other stuff, and then I'd had to go back in it one day, and I just absent-mindedly grabbed it.
I've done that so many times recently, man.
So
Do you feel like you did that a lot anyway, like throughout your life, or do you feel like that's happening more as you're getting older? Because I don't remember burning myself quite so much as I have in the last like 2 years.
My approach to things means I do often get wee injuries because I just kind of I just don't
Caution
think
to the
about.
wind.
I don't think about stuff. I just start doing it, and then I'd like get injured.
The last time I really badly burnt myself, to be fair, I would like to think that it wasn't my fault, but we got this new pan, and it's like non-stick or whatever, but it has, instead of a handle, it has like 2 little loopy handles at the side, and they were covered in like a plastic looking thing, which I assumed were like insulated well enough, surely, with the idea of being able to pick it up. And they weren't, and I felt like I was going the right way about it. Fully fucking scalded my hands, and I did once grab the entire base of the pan after literally just cooking 2 searing hot steaks in it. So I don't know what the fuck I thought was going to happen the second time, but yeah, I'm burning myself an awful lot lately too.
Yeah,
you do strike me now as a man who would burn.
We'll
himself.
approach an open flame.
You're the lad who they have the separate settings on the Bunsen burner in science class 4.
I did love the old Bunsen burner in science class. Just the gas way up.
Do you feel like they cheated you on like, do you remember your open day when you go into the science room and they were like, we're going to be blowing shit up, we're going to be cutting up frogs, it's going to be all sorts of cool shit, and then you get there and they're like, put this rice on top of a spoon and just set fire to it and note how long it takes to burn.
Is that what you did? Burnt rice?
It was just like, we were trying to find out the
that sounds actually, I think you were actually in home economics there. They were teaching you how to cook. Just weren't very good at it.
No, you need to put more than 1 grain in the bowl at a time. We're feeding at least 5 people here. Yeah, sorry, that was a tangent that wasn't going anywhere. But I just remember thinking, after I had notions of becoming a doctor before I went into secondary school.
You're dressed like one now.
Thank you. Cheers. I left the lanyard at home now, but
yeah, you do look like an off-duty doctor with the glasses, the cutely tousled greying hair. I could see you as a protagonist. And all right, let's do this, Nathan. Let's do this. I'm going to make you a star.
Okay, what's the show?
Grey's
Anatomy. Sorry, low-hanging fruit.
Oh, you've completely thrown me.
Have you been reading my...
You're not going to take this seriously. I'm not.
Have you been reading my notebook? That's definitely the name of a porn somewhere.
Definitely.
100%. We should look it up after.
Yeah. Sasha Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah. How do you ultra pornify the names of like McSteamy and McDreamy? Is it just like McSeaman or something? is that how they, is that
who's McSteamy and
wasn't
McDreamy?
there like the 2 lads? I only watched like maybe 2 seasons of Grey's Anatomy like years and years and years ago.
Is it still going?
Oh, why? It's like fucking season 24 now or something. It's wild. Jack Bauer's on it all. No, it's I think it is. Yeah, because I still get like ads on the TV for the odd time, like just whatever channel it'll say. But yes, sorry, you were saying, I went on a very long tangent there. You were saying that you were getting the place ready and then you felt bad for fucking off.
Yeah.
And then
so it was cleaning and cooking
and just fucking burning the whole place down.
Yeah, and I just lifted it.
Did you feel extra bad whenever you got to the surfing lesson after burning each individual finger like that and being covered in the white stuff and just having a set of burnt fingers? And the guy called you, is it Merv or Marv? Marv from
hissed at him. Get out of here.
Margaret, when she watches Home Alone, can't breathe. Like, can't breathe. Like, it is, like, I've seen it so many times now, and like, I'll be honest, whenever the call to stick it on, inevitably every year at Christmas comes like clockwork. I've stopped putting up a fight just because of how entertaining it is to watch her watch Home Alone. Like,
Mighty.
I don't even really watch it anymore. Just like, but she is unable to draw breath. Like, I'm like, what's going on. See, there's the really elaborate ones, like the fucking things that like swing down the stairs.
Yeah.
Like fucking
The paint cans.
Yeah. Just like.
Those hurt.
Don't get me started about my trip to Germany. Yeah, that stuff. She just can't breathe, and the second one as well. Yeah, the third one, like, why did they bother?
Yeah.
Why the fuck did they bother? Like, I feel like that's kind of I suppose maybe just evidence that they've always done that. But like, do you notice like everything's coming back again? Like the Matrix is coming back again now. In fact, Keanu Reeves seems to be involved in a lot of like revived franchises, which he was obviously integral in. Did he have a clause in his contract like in 20 years if I'm not up to much? We'll just do all these again.
Everybody has to fall in love with me again.
Yeah, exactly. How does he move so slow?
We watched the first Matrix there in preparation for the fourth.
Unreal.
It's just every
So
shot on it is just
incredible.
amazing. Like,
Did you ever see that? I think it was on Reddit years ago. Where was it the second one? Maybe they showed like, remember what was the scene where they did the two trucks and there was the fight on the highway.
it's the second one.
And do you know the bit where it like flips over?
Yeah.
So they built like a mile of highway to shoot that.
Yeah.
And like put like a bend or put like a hump in the road at such an angle so that like they could just essentially leave the two of them on like a straight track. And then like, but it's fucking incredible to watch. Like I don't think
I'll tell you what's not incredible to watch though.
What's that?
The actual film. Matrix
Oh,
2, it
terrible.
does not hold up at
Yeah,
all.
yeah,
God, it's a slog to get through.
Yeah.
Like,
It was one of my favorite video games. It was called, was it Enter the Matrix or something?
Yeah.
I can't remember. And there was a level that if you just didn't leave the room, there was just wave after wave after wave of just the same few kind of NPCs. and they kept just running in, and it was really satisfying to just stay in that one room for hours. I remember just like, killing hours of my life just as what's the name of the female character again?
Trinity.
No, the other one with the cool hair. Ah, fuck, I can't remember. Anyway, her character was so badass.
Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Yes. Her character was class, and it was just like so fucking good. I was like, I can jump off the wall and then kick him in the face. Holy shit! Great game.
I don't know if I'll watch the third one, but I'll definitely go see the fourth one.
Well, the third one's been out for like a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, but it's dung as well.
Is it really? Yeah. Did you watch it the other night just in preparation for like?
Yeah, I was like, let's watch
get
all
back
three, and it was like, no, I'm not watching the third one after that
Yeah.
fucking second one. No way.
Yeah, there's so many movies like that where you're like I still haven't watched Anchorman 2 because I heard so much terrible things about it that I just feel like, in fact, I haven't even watched Anchorman 1 in such a while because I remember enjoying it so much as like a 13, 14, 15-year-old that I worry that I will be so cynical now that I'll think it's so dumb.
Nah.
And I don't want to ruin the memory of enjoying Anchorman so much.
Nah, most of the time when a film, like you hit a film at a formative age, like it
It holds up for
retains
you.
that glory for
Yeah.
you.
It fucking better. We went to see what the fuck did we go see the other day? The Suicide Squad or something was decent. Bangor Omniplex has like got a fucking bunch of, it's just recliners now. Class.
Lethal.
Unreal. Less seats, I suppose, but they're probably like, when's the last time we filled a cinema? Might as well just make it really comfy and expensive for everyone.
I love the cinema recliner experience. It's fucking lethal. It's a
great.
way to see
You were ahead of
I
the
was ahead of the I was, Nathan. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
But didn't you go to the screen that only has like 12 seats though or something? Isn't that what you were
It's
telling
like
me before?
that's like I think they're like 12 wee banks of like recliners, so you can go with groups of people. You know,
Yeah, it's a way to do it.
it's a way to do it because you know as well. It's a wee bit. It's only a couple of quid more expensive, but
Yeah.
like for the upgrade you get, and you know people who are buying that want to see the film, so nobody's going to be fucking
Yeah.
nothing worse than people. I fucking hate people dicking about in the cinema. Like.
Me too, man. It really fucking stresses me out. See if before the movie starts, Margaret hasn't put her phone on airplane mode, I get really stressed. 'Cause she will 100% just be one of those people. Like, just do you know if you're like sitting and you can see like down
Yeah.
the slope, and you just see a wee face light up. That's Margaret. No shame. Like, just like. She wouldn't
Sorry, Margaret, you have to cut that out.
cut it
Cut
out.
it out.
So she hasn't done it now in a good long while, to be fair. But like,
Not just Margaret, everyone.
everyone.
That's
Oh, it's the worst. Like, it actually makes me feel really embarrassed. Because, like, I don't know. Because I want to be able to give out about those other people that are doing it. And so if you then start doing it next to me, I can't just be like, I mean, it was an important call. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, I remember ringing her once, not knowing she was in the cinema. And she answered. And I was like, why are you whispering? She was like, I'm in the cinema. I was like, well, then hang up the phone. Hang up the phone. And then she thought that she was like, I said to her after, I was like, why did you answer? And she was like, well, isn't it well that I have my phone turned on or you wouldn't be able to get a hold of me? I was like, I just wanted to see what you wanted for dinner. It could wait. She said, but it might have been something important. I was like, well, you know, Schrodinger's emergency. He comes up a lot in my head. Never met the guy.
you have as well, though. Really half-arsed that contribution. Well, but yeah, I was. Figure it out yourself. Figure out what the joke I was trying to make there. Figure it out. You do the work, doctor.
Here, did you survive yesterday without Facebook?
I really hoped it was going to be the end, you know.
Did you notice it was like, was there something to do with some whistleblower or something that was kind of strange?
I was reading what the.
It was hard to find anywhere to read any of them.
I was reading or trying to follow what was going on, and I was like, I have no idea. I have no idea how this shit works.
Yeah. Just the opening.
What is a server?
Did you see the top post on Reddit yesterday? It was just a guy standing in front of like Apache Bay servers, and he was just like. They were like Mark Zuckerberg, right? Some of the memes that came out of it were incredible, to be fair.
Yeah, would have been sweet relief for us all. Imagine.
There was someone put up a post that made me laugh the hardest, and there might be a decent enough chance that he might listen to this. So I hope you don't take it personally. But I'll not say who it is. But he put up a thing and was like, "It's such a." What did he say? He's like, Facebook or Instagram is down, and. Like I'm paraphrasing. Instagram is down, and I finally feel free or something. And I was just like, you could always just not open Instagram. Like I've been doing it for years.
Don't you see the message, Nathan? He feels chained to the gram. He's addicted to it. He's free of the addiction.
I mean,
free of the habit.
Yeah, but like, I wonder. Like, no one will fucking. Now, I'm not trying to make it sound like I've always been abstaining. I relentlessly look at these things. I'm too filled with anxiety to ever post on them. But like, I wonder how many people will actually come away from it going like.
It was only 4 hours.
No, but you know what? But that is like, for some people, man, like, that is a long time to be away from those things. I know that seems tragic to even consider. Because you or me can definitely do 4 hours without looking at those things, but like some people can't do that. Like, and like, I don't know. That must have felt like. Can you imagine, especially if you have like whatever about Facebook? No one our age is really counting on Facebook for work anymore. For like in our line of work, I mean, other than like the odd group or whatever. Like, but like, I don't know. There must have been like a fairly genuine feeling of panic, I'm sure, if like fucking the thought of like if you'd finally had like 30,000 Instagram followers or something that you'd amassed over years, and then they were like they were going to be gone forever all of a sudden.
I guess a lot of people's careers are dependent on
what would influencers have turned to?
Yeah,
just taking out ads in the Spectator.
Do you know what I was thinking about the other day? I don't know why in my mind it went here from influencers. That stuff, I don't even know how you pronounce it. Huel.
Yes.
Yeah. I remember one time you bought some of that.
I never used to.
But I was like, it looks like sand.
It tastes like sand.
It looks so unappealing. The bag it came in was grey, and it was just called Huel. And that's like the most
human fuel.
Well, the noise Huel sounds like somebody throwing up. It's like, that is bad marketing. Listen to me, Huel. You'll never fucking sponsor this show.
I got a free.
Your product sounds like people boking. Hill! Buy Hill! No?
I fucking hope in 5 years they're the biggest company in the world and they come to us, the biggest podcast in the world. And do you see how much Mick died inside at the thought of still doing this in 5 years? He couldn't even hide it on his face. I'm going to slow that down, make a gif out of it. He nearly vomited in his mouth. He was like,
Hill!
yeah, I guess I remember why I bought it. The reason I bought it was because I was gigging so much at the time that on the weekends in particular, there was a while where I had 3 gigs on a Saturday and I never had any time to eat in the middle. And I found out that like fucking hunger essentially was like one of the big triggers of like me getting panic attacks and stuff. And so I was like, I didn't seek it out. Now, to be fair, I wasn't like Googling like what could I drink instead of a meal, but like it just came up one day and I was just like, I'll give it a go. And I did, and it was awful. Got a free t-shirt out of it though, and it fits. Very nice. I wear it to gigs a lot just because it's black, and like people must just be like, I'm sure people are looking at it going like, that rings a bell for some reason. I must be the only cunt anyone's ever fucking heard of that actually fucking tried it. There was like one like flavour that was like, but they were just so synthetic tasting. That was the problem. Like any of the I ended up just going for like the no flavour anything, like no sweetener, and it was literally like
Hill grill.
It was literally just like, yeah, it was like somebody blitzed up a kind of a slightly more tasting of peas, like of like fucking petit pois, fucking like porridge, but more of a more liquidy viscosity. It's gross. It's the worst thing I've ever drank. It essentially just came like a fucking protein shake. Like that was essentially what it looked like, you know what I mean? But it was just the taste
in
was
a foil bag.
The taste was very earthy, like
And it's just in markers just written Hill. Nathan's Hill.
I thought I'd hacked it. You know what I mean?
know.
I was like, never need to think about food again. I'll just drink these things. But I was still hungry after them. You know what I mean? It was, well, this is fucking...
That's why I cut down on my Weetabix from 6 back down to 2, because I was like, I'm not getting any less. My hunger is not getting any more sated. Less
satiated.
Satiated
is the word. Yeah.
I'm not getting any less hungry. Is what I'm not any less hungry.
Cereal is like a bottomless pit. Cereal and pasta, I can eat endlessly. Like I made this happens every time I do this. Like Margaret really likes when I make carbonara. So, and sometimes she's like, will you make enough for tomorrow? And I always make enough for like 3 days, and we absolutely always eat it all immediately. And like, I never feel full eating pasta. I can just eat it forever until I fucking vomit. Like, I don't know what it is about it. Like, I don't get the same feeling as I get like after like a big steak or like anything like that. And same with like Cheerios. The only thing I found recently is like eating fucking any cereal is giving me mad fucking heartburn. Though you'll be proud of me. Made the big switch when I do eat cereal. Oat milk is my new favourite milk for cereal.
Oat milk. Son of a milkman here telling you to make the switch. Make the switch to oat.
But apparently Huel is a step too far.
Stop eating pigs. Befriend a cow. These are the principles we should be living our life by.
We should sponsor a cow.
Sponsor a cow. I would sponsor a cow. See,
we'd
they're culling pigs in England because they can't get rid of them. They can't get them sold.
Really?
Yeah. Very sad.
Did people forget about bacon?
No, I don't know what. It's something to do with the old fucking fuel shortage crack and everything, I think.
What were they feeding them? Explains a lot.
That segment there was called Muck's News, where I glanced at the headlines and just stitched them all together.
The pigs are at it again.
They're culling pigs in England again.
Do you remember when Brian May absolutely lost his mind over the Badgers?
About badger culling?
Yeah, which I've totally...
I do. That does ring a bell.
On his side about. I remember I
don't know why though.
Remember I just hadn't seen Brian May on TV obviously I'd seen like videos of Queen, but I just mean like I hadn't seen like a recent bit of footage from him on TV for ages, and then just out of nowhere I just saw a really, really grey Brian May just absolutely losing his bap about Badgers, and was just like, fair play. That's the one to come out of the woodwork for. Like all the things that have happened over the last 10 years that like probably
it's the Badgers.
He was like, see these Badgers? They need a voice. And it should be me. It should be me, the famous Queen guitar player that gives them that voice. It does make me sad when people are... There's like that kind of certain brand of like tough English that is just like, kill them all. Kill everything. Nature's crap. We own the most land. We have the biggest houses. We live the furthest away from the world. But we hate all the nature that surrounds us.
Let's go hunt some fox.
Let's fucking kill some shit. Woo!
I think you had it down there verbatim. That's usually how they start things.
They have all the land.
Let's go. Let us hunt some fox.
Poor foxes too, man.
The poor English can't come here without us giving them a wild touch. This poor podcast is not a safe space for the English.
I had a tough weekend with our friends from across the water, man. Oh my God. I sent you a message, which I'm glad you didn't reply to.
Sometimes I know when to just... I'm just gonna, no.
Man,
that doesn't warrant a reply.
So I don't know if I've said this already. There's a thing that seems to be happening with, so obviously down south, and I don't know what it's like in England actually, but down south anyway for sure, you need a vaccine passport if you want to go into a pub and drink, right? But you don't need one up here. And then also in the Cathedral Quarter, the most well advertised area of Belfast for tourists, I would say. I would go so far as to call it Belfast's Temple Bar.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Maybe a fucking lagery sort of a drink, wasn't a real podcast friendly beverage. Anyway, now I don't know if I'm reading into this too much, right? But you know, the Cathedral Quarter has always been home to like lots of tourists. Oh, always. But I would say that generally it was at least like 50-50. There was always like a good bunch of folks up from Belfast or like a little further afield, like maybe down for the weekend or something like that. But I would say like over 90% of the people that I've been playing to in any of my gigs in the Cathedral Quarter at the minute are all from either the south or England. Like, and then, which is class, except are they only coming here because they don't have to be vaccinated to get to the pub? Because I don't know what it's like in England. I think they maybe don't need a vaccine there. It's a hot take, but like there's folks coming up from like the south in general. And it makes sense to me when it's like a hen or something, or like a stag, or like it's a birthday or something. But like there's just lots of folks just coming up for the weekend because they can drink here and they probably can't at home. And then I'm like, I wonder, are we just like, and then and the same breath you're hearing like them talking about like vaccine passports on the radio, and then you have like people from like Hospitality Ulster coming on and like being like really against it. And like, I wonder, do they think that it would be a bad idea just because most of the folks that seem to be coming up here are from the south? And not that there's any like verifiable data on any of this, but like, are they kind of going like, oh well, maybe that's everybody that's drinking in the pubs at the minute? Because it's like so many, man. Like it's unreal. Like I remember, like, as I said, like there's always tourists, but it's just like, it seems like an unbelievable amount that are all from out of town at the minute. Like, and like I've been saying it, like I have a mate works in a place not too far, like just across the street from the Cathedral Quarter essentially, and he was saying the same. He was just like, he's like, it's great, you know, there's loads of business and all, and it's class that people are feeling comfortable enough to come up to Belfast, but like, you know, it just.
I've heard a lot of people saying that's all you hear is.
It's so many, man, yeah. And again, like, I mean, I'm obviously not from here.
Coming up here, drinking our pints.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, you know, I'm also from...
Oh, remember we exist, do you?
Like, I'm obviously from Cork, so, like, you know, I obviously don't have a problem with people from the south. Now, Dublin. No, the England of Ireland. That's not fair.
Eat shit, Dublin. Nobody's safe tonight.
We're busting chops. But yeah, it's just, and all that would be class. Because I mean, like, look, in the Dirty Onion, like, there's a big fucking cage essentially around me. Like, no one can get near me. I don't care for that
like
reason.
Roadhouse.
Essentially, I could do with the chicken wire probably. The more we're getting to it now, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know if it's just because people haven't been out in a while. But then there's always been people like this, I suppose. It just seems like they're like highly concentrated at the minute. But like, it's that thing I've always said for years of just like, it's not that everyone at all the gigs I play at are terrible people. It's just that they're drawn to be closer to the person playing, it seems. And so like all the sound people are miles away being respectful that I probably don't want to be tortured all night. And all the people who think that I am there solely to just entertain their table sit right next to me and do my fucking head in. A girl said to me the other day, she was like, oh Mike, do you know the Belfast City? And I was like, no, I don't. And she was like, it's just fucking Belfast and you can't even play the Belfast City. I was like, does it help you when you go to new places that they sing a song with the name of the place in the title?
It would help me. I'm not gonna lie. That's a really good.
I was like, I hope you don't go too far outside of Belfast because you're not going to hear too many fucking tunes about Larne or Lisburn. Like, I was like, and where are you from? Is there a song about it? Probably not. So shush. Just fucking stupid things. You're just, but like, I wouldn't mind if, like, even that exchange, if it had felt like there was any crack to do with it, but it was this sense of like, I have travelled all this way to hear an Irish man sing an Irish song.
Dance for me, Patrick.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Dance for me.
You're just like,
little Patty.
Fuck off then. She actually said, I should have just stayed in Bristol. And I was like, I'm inclined to agree. And she was like, excuse me? And I was like, well, definitely fuck off back to Bristol then. If the only reason you wanted to be here was that you wanted to hear someone sing a song about Belfast. Have you not got Spotify? Ryan McMullen has a song about Belfast and it's on Spotify. You can listen to that and stay in fucking Bristol. You dick. To be fair though, hilariously, after I sent you that message, just fuming about no particular group of people in general. Like a super, as if sent by the gods of karma, like a super sound English fella came up to me and tipped me a tenner and told me that he was absolutely loving the night, and it was the first night him and his wife had been out listening to music and they were like, this is fucking class and thanks so much. And I was just like, she's feeling an awful cunt.
He's like, this is the first night we haven't had a row in years. Keep up the good work, please. For the love of God, please. Whatever you're doing's working.
But yeah, most of the gigs have been sweet. But yeah. Where did this stem from?
Hey,
it was Facebook, wasn't it?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Do you want to know an interesting?
I have no gauge of time either because that's going.
Oh shit!
like,
yeah, we should probably keep an eye on that. You want to be making one podcast too long when we need 3? Oh, what's your fucking thing?
Yeah, I'll come and do it.
No, it's never done that.
I think it
I can tell by this actually. Hang on. Oh, it's an hour. Sweet. Have a good week.